Hi, in this video, I'll answer a few questions that you guys asked on the forum for chapter 3 homework assignments. Now these questions are difficult to answer on the forum, so I decided to make the recording to answer that, so it may help you guys more. Okay, the first problem. One student did the long divisions and he got incorrect answer for the remainder. Now let's see. Let's redo the problem and see what we get from here. Okay, so I go ahead and perform again the long division. So the numerator I write on the right side, 2x to the third power subtract 12x squared plus 7x minus 25. So divide that to 2x squared plus 5. So using the long divisions, this is the rule. I take the first term here. So make sure you write the polynomial in the descending power. 3, the power the highest one, 3, 2, 1, and then the constant, the number only. Again, so we have to write the polynomial from the higher to lower degrees. And the same thing here. This is the higher, and then this is the smaller. Now, the rule here is we take the first term, the very first term of the numerator. We divide the first term here. Okay, so I take 2x to the third power. I divide 2x to the second power. The first term divided by the first term. Now the 2 and the 2 they cancel out, right? So I get x cubed divided by x squared. They have the same base x. We keep the same base x. 3 subtract 2 the power. So I get only the x terms. So I write the answer as the x here, right? The x here only. Now, after you find the division between the two first term, we have the quotient. Then now we take this quotient x, we multiply to all of them, all of the term here. So x times 2x squared give me 2x to the third power. X times 5 give me 5x. Now this is 5x only, so you have to write that under the x term, because this is 5 times x is 5x, and 5x is the plus 5x. This is the x variable, x to the first power, so I have to write the x to the first power underneath the x to the first power. And then we go ahead and we do the subtraction. Okay, so make sure you put that in the parentheses and then do the subtraction. 2x to the third power subtract 2x to the third power, that becomes 0, minus 12x squared minus, we don't have the square term right here, that means it's 0, right? We don't have the square term, it's 0. So minus 12x squared subtract 0 is still minus 12x squared. And then 7x subtract 5x, that's become 2x. Okay, and then after that, after you do the subtraction, we carry down the next term, which is minus 25. Okay, so what do I do next? Again, I take the first term, the first term right here, the first term. I divide again by the first term to find the quotient. Again, before we took the first term, we divide by the first term. I now take the first term, which is minus 12x squared, the first term, divide by the same first term again. Minus 12 divide by 2 give me 6. X squared divided by x give me x. Make sure you have the minus. Okay, so that is the minus 6x. Okay, so that is minus, oh sorry here, this is x squared, right? 2x squared. So x squared and x squared they cancel. So you just have minus 6. Minus 6 here only. Okay? We take the first term, divide by the first term, 2x squared. The 2x squared they cancel out, so you have minus 6. So minus 6 go to here. Now after you did the quotient to get to minus 6, we take minus 6, we multiply to these two terms. Minus 6 multiplied by 2x squared give me minus 12x squared. So make sure that I write the x squared term together. Minus 6 multiplied to 5 minus 30. This is only the single number, so I write the 30 here, minus 30 here. Minus 6 times 5 minus 30. This is the number, so I write the number under the number. Okay, so make sure they stand in the same column. And now we make sure we put them inside the parentheses and we do the subtraction. Okay, minus 12x squared minus of minus become plus. So minus 12x squared plus 12x squared, that becomes 0. 2x, we don't have the x term, so 2x subtract 0, which is the same thing, which is 2x. Minus 25, minus become plus, so minus 25 plus 30, does give me plus 5. And we don't have any more term to carry it out, so that is the end. Before we had the next term minus 25, so I carry that down and then I continue the division. But now we don't have any more term from the numerator, so we are done. We stop here. So this is the answer. This is the quotient. So this is the quotient, and you had the right answer for the quotient. But for the remainder, this should be the remainder, and it is not this one. So it should be 2x plus 5 for the remainder. 2x plus 5. So that's why you got the answer wrong here. Okay, try the next problem. Find the quotient and the remainder using the long division. Again, I write the numerator x to the 4 plus 4x to the third power minus. Okay, we don't have the square 4 power of 4 of 3, but there's no 2, so that means you should plus 0 and then x squared. Okay, actually let me clear that so we have more spaces. So on the top I may put it this way: x to the 4 plus 4x to the third power. I just rewrite them in the descending power, plus 0 x squared minus 14x minus 16. So this is the 4 power: 4, 3, 2, 1, and then nothing, which is 0. Okay, and then that is the top, and divide by x plus 3. So now we can do that here. We put x to the 4 plus 4x to the third power plus 0 x squared minus 14x and minus 16. Okay, we divide that to x plus 3. Again, I took the first term and the first term, I divide that. x4 divided by x give me x3, so I write x3 here. Now I multiply this to two of them. So x3 multiplied by x give me x4. x3 multiplied by 3 give me 3x to the third power. And then I do subtraction. x4 subtract x4, 0. 4x3 minus 3x3 give me 1x3. Carry out the next term, plus 0x squared, right? And then now, after I carried out, I take the first term, I divide by the first term here again. x3 divided by x give me x squared. So the answer go to here. and then I take x squared and multiply by x, give me x to the third power. X squared times 3 give me 3x squared, and then I do subtraction. X3 subtract x3, that's 0. 0x squared minus 3x squared, so this is 0 minus that, give me minus 3x squared. And then carry down the next term, which is minus 14x. And after I carry down the next terms, again I take the first term, I divide by the first term here again. So minus 3x squared divided by x, minus 3, and then x squared divided by x give me x here. So minus 3x, the quotient go to here. And then now I take the new one and multiply the two of them. Minus 3x multiply to x give me minus 3x squared, minus 3x multiplied by 3 give me minus 9x, and then we do the subtraction. So minus 3x squared minus of minus become plus 3x squared, that give me 0. Minus 14x minus of minus become plus, so minus 14 plus 9, that should give me how much? Minus 14x plus 9x should be minus 5, right? Minus become plus, so minus 14x plus 9x, that should be minus 5x. Okay, and then I carried out the last term, which is minus 16. Okay, after I carried out, again I need to take the first term and I divide by the first term here. So minus 5x divided by x give me minus 5. The 2x they cancel. Right, so minus 5, the quotient go to here. So now I take minus 5, which is right here. I multiply to x, give me minus 5x. Minus 5 multiplied by 3 give me minus 15. And now we put them inside the parentheses. We do the subtraction. Okay, so minus 5x minus become plus, so minus 5x plus 5x, that's 0. Minus 16 minus become plus, so minus 16 plus 15, that is minus 1. Okay, so we don't have no more term here, so we stop. So this should be the remainder of minus 1. So it's not 1, it should be minus 1. And this should be the quotient. So x to the third power plus x squared minus 3x and minus 5. So you got the quotient right, but not the remainder. It should be minus 1. I think you mess up the minus side around here. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This one is also from chapter 3, 3.2 and 3.3. So they give you the information that the polynomial of degree 4, right? We know that this is the degree 4. P of x has a root of multiplicity of 2 as x equals 4, and roots of multiplicity 1 as x equals 0 and minus 3. And it goes through the point, this one. Find the formula. Okay, so we know that P of x is given with the info here. Now, when it has the root of x equal minus 4, x equal 4, that means you have x subtract 4. Because remember that the general rule for any polynomial is a, x minus r1, x minus r2, x minus r3, and so on. R1 is the root 1, R2 is the root 2, R3 is the root 3, and so on. A is just a constant. So I have A is a constant. X minus, the first root here is when x equals 4, which is R1 equals 4, so I put here. I know that this has a multiplicity of 2, that means this is the power of 2. The second one is when x equals 0, so R2 is 0, so x minus 0. This is the multiplicity of 1, so we have 1 here. And the last one is also multiplicity of 1 when x equal minus 3. So x minus 3 now is the third root, or R3. So I have minus R3 is minus 3. So we have double minus here. Also the multiplicity of 1. If I simplify this again, one more step. So a x minus 4 squared, this is x minus 0 is nothing. So it's just x. And then this become x plus 3. Okay, so in this formula, the only thing that we are missing is the value of a. We don't know the value of a. That's why we need to solve for that. So how do I solve for a? I need to get this information from here. This is the value of x, right? 5 is x, and 16 is p of x. Okay, so anywhere you see the x, you plug in 5 because this is the order pair, right? So I know that p of x is equal to 16, so I have 16, right, equal a right here. Now x now become 5, so 5 is the x, subtract 4 square, x here again is 5, and then multiply x now is also 5 and plus 3. Okay, so 5 minus 4 is 1, 1 squared is 1, 1 times 5 is still 5, right? This 2, and then you have a, 5 plus 3 is 8 equals 16. 8 times 5 is 40, 40a equals 16. To solve for a, you divide both sides by 40. So a equals 16 over 40. And you simplify this one, divide maybe by 4 on the top and the bottom. 16 divided by 4 give me 4. 40 divided by 4 give me 10. And then you can further simplify that, divide by 2. 40 divided by 2 give me 2. 10 divided by 2 give me 5. So a is 2 over 5, or 2/5. Okay. Once you get a equal 2 over 5, we complete the polynomial. So p of x equal a, which is 2 over 5, x minus 4 to the square, multiply with x, and multiply with x plus 3. And this should be the polynomial that we are solving for. And this is what he got, which is not correct comparing to what I have here. Okay, so very close. He's missing the 2 over 5, right? It only has 2 here. Okay, x minus 4 square we have here, x plus 3. That's good, except missing the 5 at the bottom. So that's why this answer is not correct. Okay. Okay, the last problem from the forum. This one, we asked to find all the zero of this function. Okay. So in order to find all the zero, we need to use the rule from the textbook, that's from this section. Now we take the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient in this case is number 8, which is the coefficient in front of the highest degree. So which is number 8, the leading coefficient. We call that number 8. So 8 is a leading coefficient, right? So now I need to find all the factor of that. All the factor of number 8. The factor of 8 could be 1, could be 2, could be 4, could be 8. Because 8 can divide by 1, by 2, by 4, and by 8. So 1, 2, 4, 8 are all the factor of number 8. And then we take the constant, the number only, the constant terms. The constant term in this case is minus 36. Okay? And now we find all the factor of that. Also, there's also the minus case in this case. So maybe you can write -1, -2, -4, and -8, right? Because the minus case also the factor of 8, because 8 can also divide by -1. And -2, -4, and -8. And now -36, you can divide -36 to get the factor of that. And you can get 1, 2, yes. How about 3? Yes. 36 divided by 3 give me 12. Okay. How about 4? Yes. 9 times 4, 36. 5, nope. 6, yes. 6 times 6, 36. 7, nope. 8, nope. 9, yes. 9 times 4, 36. 10, nope. 11, nope. 12, yes. 12 times 3, 36. 12. And then 13, nope. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 18, yes. 18 times 2, yes. 36. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, nope, until 36. Okay. Okay, this is the negative of the positive value, and you also need to get the negative value as well. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -6, -9, -12, -18, -36. Okay, and now the rule here is that we don't know the zero of the function, but we know the rule. We can find all the possible solutions or the zero of this function. This is the possible value, possible zero. How do I find that? Now I take number 1, I divide by all of them. So 1 divide by 1. I take the factor of the constant, I divide by 1. Right? I take 1 divide by 2. 1 divide by 4. 1 divide by 8. 1 divide by -1. Right? 1 divide by -1. 1 divide by -2. 1 divided by -4, 1 divided by -8. That is just the ratio between number 1 and all of these. Now, next one is we take the next letter, the next number, 2 divided by 1, 2 divided by 2, and so on. 2 divided by 4, 2 divided by 8, 2 divided by -1, 2 divided by -3, 2 divided by -2, sorry, -2, and 2 divided by -4, and 2 divided by -8, and then so on. Now, this is, and then you keep going with all the number here, divide by the top number, and then we just take all the value, we plug in. We take each of the value, we plug into the function, right? Take all the value, we plug into the function and see which one really give you the zero. But this problem is very difficult to do it by hand. Now I can show you a way to do it using the graphing, by graphing. And normally for this type of problem, we use graphing to do it. Okay, so let me show you that. Okay, all we do now is you guys have to go to Google and then enter this website, Desmos.com and /calculator. Okay, you can enter this one. And then go back to the function. This function is f of x equal ax to the third power. So let me put here f of x equal ax to the third power minus 50x squared minus 50x square plus 81x and minus 36. Now we are looking for the 0. That means we are looking for the point on the function, the point of the x value that make the f of x equal to 0. Okay, so we focus here. We see that 0 is this level, right? This is 0. This is the f of x or the y-axis, and this is the 0, right? So we are looking for the 0. We are looking for the value of x that make this function to be 0, which is this point, this x, and this value. Okay. So how do I find the value here? If you click on here, it should give you 0.75 for the x that make this function to be 0, or 0.75 for x, and this one is 1.5 for x, and this one is 4. So the value that make this function to be 0 in this case is when x equals 0.75, 1.5, and 4. So 4 of them. So it should be 0.75, 1.5, and 4. So 3 of them, right? Sorry, you don't have to write that in here. So 3 of them, and we see that this is the power of 3. That means you should end up with 3 values for the x that make the function to be 0. Now 0 over 75, that's equal to 3.4. And as you can see, if you keep going for the ratio of this guy here, we see the 3 for the factor of the constant, and the 4 here. So later on you have 3 over 4 as well, 3 divided by 4. So that is 0. And then the other one, 1.5 equal to, this is 1.5, so 3 over 2. And if you keep going, this is 3. So 3 divided by 2, also one of your factor. And then also the 4. If you take 4, the ratio between 4 and the 4 here divided by 1 also give me 4. So again, from the list here of all the possible 0, we can see that the 3 of them come from this list, but it's very difficult for us. It takes a long time for us to sit down and plug in all the number here to the function and find which one really give you the 0. But if you just use the graphing tool from Demos website, you can figure out the value that make the function to be 0. And normally for this type of problem, we will use the graph, and this is a nice website for that. So okay, so that's all the questions that you asked from the section 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3. And thanks for watching.